Hey everybody, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to rebuild your Seapump on your boat. It's called the Seapump. It's actually, most people are going to refer to it as a freshwater pump. This is the pump that provides your engine with fresh water for cooling and your showers and everything else. I'm just going to show you here. This is the old pump. This is the impeller that was torn apart in mine. I went to start it up and it squealed and that's all that's left. Here's a new impeller from the new kit. There's a new base, new screws, little O-ring there. There's the old case. It's kind of damaged inside. Alright, so this is your freshwater pump here. I don't have the bolts in, so I'm basically just going to show you. If you were to take it off of your boat, this is how it's going to look. And you just remove the bolts, and this piece comes off. This is your housing. And it's all scored up inside. This is the impeller, and then you got a steel plate in there. So first off, we're going to start with this section here. So I'm just going to wipe this off, this housing here. Alright, so now you're wondering, if you got that part done, you got an O-ring here. You want to know where that O-ring goes. I'm going to switch cameras and show you. A little O-ring actually goes right in there. You want to just kind of peel that up. You want to pay attention to the orientation that it goes onto. Alright, that's the old one. This is the new one. And then the new one, just kind of press it in place nice and gently. Well, I didn't really get that in the camera view, but there we go. So that part's in. I'm just going to spray some water on there. Alright, hopefully don't knock it over. So now we got that O-ring swapped out. You can put this plate back on. This is your stainless steel plate. Right, so that part fits there. Line it up with the holes, of course. Now we're going to stick the impeller in. As you can tell, the impeller has a flat spot that's going to fit on the shaft here. Right? Right. And the impeller seems to be the same both top and bottom. So I don't really think it matters which way you stick it in. But you want to spray it down with soap and water. I'm spraying it down with soap and water. Lots of people will special lube for it as well. I'm going to use soap and water. This is a left hand. So now the fun part is we're going to try to squish this bitch in place now. There. Did that and turned it, so that made it go. Spray it down some more. Now we're going to line it up. Drop it down in place. This is much easier to do off of the unit itself. Oops. The impeller is all completely done. The rebuild will take you about 15-20 minutes, probably at the max. So if you're wondering what the longer bolts are for, they're for your bracket here. So the longer bolts go through, they attach your bracket, or the short ones will just go through and they don't come out the other side. And the reason why there's water coming out, what I did is after I built it, I took some water here and I poured water in there, water in there. This is soap and water, not just pure water. I poured soap and water in both holes. And then what I did was then I cranked it by hand. I wanted to make sure everything was going to spin freely, there wasn't any binding. Because the last thing you want to do is spend $100 on that kit, put it in, start up your boat, and of course it's going to shit the bed. Alright, so now that the pump is rebuilt, I'm going to shed this one last piece for you. Always make sure if this is what you got left, if yours is about as bad as this one, you gotta go and collect the rest of the rubber pieces. And you got to remove the hose that goes from the pump or it goes towards the engine. You got to check for that, make sure there's no rubber in there. Luckily mine all ended up at the heat exchanger for your tranny slash coolant line, whatever, so everything had just piled up in the end there, which was restricting the flow, because even if you would have changed the pump and not changed the rubber, you still would have heated up because all the rubber was jammed up. So even if you did change that pump out, you still would have had problems with heating up and not getting proper water flow. So like I said, check your lines, flush it backwards, put your finger in the holes, not when it's running, of course. Always make sure you clean out all the rubber, because last thing you want to do is spend all this money and just have more issues. You want to be able to get it fixed, get out there on the water and have fun, because that's what it's all about. Spent the money and the pump now is rebuilt. You may ask yourself, how did the pump fail? Well, the pump failed for many reasons. It could have failed mostly 90% of the time. The pump fails because there's not enough water. Or there's no water at all. Believe it or not, a few seconds, 20 seconds max of this, totally destroy it. This one here, I think this one here has been chewed up for a while. I just actually noticed it before I went out boating. This could have, if I didn't catch this, I could have been stranded somewhere. Probably somewhere far away, would have to paddle my ass to shore. It could cause some serious damage. Causing your engine to heat up and possibly engine failure. You don't want that. Always, never start your motor without water. Always have a water line hooked up to it. Always have it in the water. I'm not going to show it in this video, but another video I'm creating a jig. I'm just going to connect directly to my line, and that way I'm going to make sure that there's water going to it. I'm not going to trust the suction cup thing in the bottom, because I think that's what may have failed, or the impeller may have been destroyed before I bought the boat. Either way, I can't tell. So that's the way I'm going to roll. So that's pretty simple. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, post them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and subscribe to many other videos I got going on.